Why, heidi ho, heidi ho. So, message for today. I'm going to go back to Hasatan, Satan, which would be the reptilian mind, the Yetzirah, the evil inclination, based wants instead of base needs. There are those who teach that it is okay to tell a half-truth. It's okay to mislead others, and ignorance of the law is no excuse, which is true. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So back to Hasatan, Satan, and our evil inclination. Sin crouches at the door. We're introduced as we come out of the womb into a sinful environment, an environment that could be either Ra or Tov, good or bad, wicked. And there are those that like to pervert justice, God's law. And they believe that it's okay to racketeer or profiteer from others if they use a fictitious conveyance of language and tell half-truths and mislead and use Phoenician phonics. And so it's important to learn to syntax words, separate them and look for their roots. So like, is it Indo-European root, or is it a Sanskrit root, or is it Hebrew root, or European? I mean, it does matter. Latin and Greek roots and modifying words. So the UCC code 1000, well, United States Code, Title 18, 1001, 1002 is referring to using a fictitious conveyance of language or false and misleading statements. And unfortunately, there are those who are narcissistic, and many of us can show signs of narcissism at times in our life, especially when we're younger and we're lacking knowledge and wisdom, and we're allowing Hasatan to beguile us, and then we become Hasatan. We attach Hasatan to us, which is the evil inclination. We believe it's okay to tell half-truths. So, like with the Title 28 Corporation, the United States giving block grant funding to the corporate states for their Title 40 agencies and other family courts that are set up to cause issues with families, to racketeer from the poor, profiteer from the poor, that they offer women things. And quite often, and it's not even just in that court system, it's in all the courts. It's all the courts are set up for profit. They want to get men and women in prison, in their prison system, to profit off of their imprisonment. So anyway, they'll tell a woman to tell a half-truth. And what they'll do, and I noticed this with quite a few individuals, and I warn individuals, number one, don't contract, because you don't have to contract with that Title 28 corporation. So if somebody sends you something in the mail from a Title 40 agency or any other agency that is an admiralty law court, you can tell them to shove it up their ass. You don't have to accept it. Send it back. So anyway, they'll tell women, work as minimal hours as you can and bring in those check stubs showing how many hours you worked and how much you were compensated for your hours of labor. It's a scam that they pull on every man. And I know it because it happened to me. That's why I am so adamant against this satanic system. This system will take the most valuable thing to a man who loves his children away from him, and it's a sick system. And I have made my feelings 100% clear. If I saw an officer on the side of the road on fire, I wouldn't piss in his face to put it out. So anyway, that's why I've spent so many hours researching law, UCC codes, admiralty law. So what they do is it's all fictitious conveyance of language and telling half-truths. And they get women to be greedy for gain and tell half-truths, which is evidence on its face of collusion and coercion to commit fraud, because they have a woman, they tell her, we're going to give you benefits if you go and do all these things. But ultimately, it comes down to you. So when you get in these court systems, if you're going to deal with them, you need to understand you're expressing a trust. being that Social Security trust account, you're not expressing yourself. So everything that is created off that Social Security trust account. That's why you got to use a Social Security number to get a license, marriage license, driver's license, fishing license, hunting license, license to carry armaments. Those are all commercial contracts and UCC codes, United States codes. But anyway, that's the main message I wanted to convey today. The court systems are corrupt around the world, not just here on this portion of land, because they are all ruled by the Vatican. That's why they want you to use their Gregorian calendar. That's why they want you to use their address systems, their names of the land. Kili kol ha'aretz, all the earth is mine, is what our Imam says. It's not to say that everybody who's in that system is wicked, but a good majority of them are. And unfortunately, a good-hearted individual goes into that system, they're going to turn into a sociopath, created that way by society and the people they're around. So, who you break bread with does matter. Anyway, that's the message for today. Don't contract with the system, because it is a corrupt system. The wars are corrupt. They're all bankers' wars. It's all about banking and the creditors. You sold yourself to the creditors. God bless. Much love.